In 2021, I suffered whiplash from how quickly I was thrown into the poker industry. I made a few poker viral meme hits, and within 4 months I went from uploading my first video to working on poker meme content creation full-time. I had barely even played poker. As a result, my learning curve in poker could not keep up with the obligations to play poker for content, meetup games, appearances, and so on. And as a result of that, I lost a lot of money. Thankfully, I made enough from content creation to massively offset these losses, or as I called them, business expenses. But it was an expense that I truly did want to mitigate. So I made some new poker goals for 2022. My goals were modest. Win 1 big blind an hour. Just one. My thought process then was, if I could go from a massively losing player to just a break-even player, that would be huge progress for me. So to even think of myself as a winning player, winning 1 big blind an hour, that felt ambitious. Anyway, I broke down the math. Let's say I played 12 hours of poker a week. That equals to 624 hours a year. Playing 1-3, if my goal is 1 big blind an hour, that's $3 an hour. Over 624 hours in a year, that equals $1,872. But let's round it up and make it a nice even number, and voila! My goal for 2022 was to win $2,000 playing 624 hours. So at the beginning of 2022, I replenished my bankroll for the third time with 6,000 Gregory dollars. Here are my results. Okay, overall results. Before we get into this, I should clarify that everything's in Canadian dollars. I played in different currencies, US, Filipino pesos, as we all know, but I converted everything Canadian, so that's our kind of universal currency for this video. Monopoly money. So remember, the goal is to win $2,000 over the span of 624 hours in 2022. And the final result for 2022, I won $4,716.36. I'm a legend. And I did that over the span of 684 hours and 12 minutes. So I played just slightly more hours than I was aiming for, and I achieved more than double what my goal was for the year. I averaged $6.89 an hour, less than minimum wage, but that's 2 big blinds an hour. But also because I was playing a lot of 50-cent games with my friends, I actually made $11.27 big blinds an hour. I won just slightly more than half of my sessions, and I averaged $23.94 a session. Let's take a look at my charts and see how we got here. So if we look at my charts, dear Lord, I feel like if somebody saw this on a boat, they would mistake this for the Loch Ness Monster. This graph looks like a roller coaster that I do not want to ride. This graph looks like Ogo Pogo. This graph is silly. It's very silly. So in my you can see my first week of poker, I almost hit my goals. And then I go on a 4,000 downswing, and then I go back up. And then that's March there. That's about when I was going through a breakup. So then we went on a $7,000 downswing. And then if y'all remember, in around April, May, I was going on a road trip. Went from Toronto to Vegas, and during that time played a lot of casinos. And during that time, I went on a huge upswing as I traveled through like Mississippi, Texas, Ohio. So I went on a $9,000 upswing, and then I reached Vegas. And when I got to Vegas, my mental game, I got really off. I was feeling a little isolated just because I was in the Airbnb and just making content by myself. I wasn't really putting myself out there to see people, so I was just playing a lot online and getting pummeled instead of playing in live cash games. Anyway, from there we went on a, holy shit, $13,000 downswing. And then around here, I crawl my way up a bit and I plateau, and that's August. That's when I got to Vancouver and started playing home games with my friends. So started picking up a little bit more traction, getting a little bit of my confidence back. And then here in September is when everything kind of changes again for me. September is when I went to like Hustlers Casino. I made $3,000 that day. I was there for Donkfish's PLO meetup game, in which I won like $2,000. And then that evening I went to a home game with UCLA kids and I won like another $1,000. And so in one day I kind of just like won $3,000 and got back up into the black again. October, what happened there? I guess I got back home and I started punting again. And then, this is where everything changes, okay? So November is when I got to Manila in the Philippines, and I started playing a lot of cash games there. and I just went on the biggest sun run of my life. Like literally, that thing just goes straight up, right? I was down like $2,000, and it was almost the end of the year, and I just needed to win. I just wanted to hit my $2,000 goal. And within the 14 days I was in Manila, I just skyrocketed, man. It was incredible. I think it was a combination of like playing well and I ran well, everything hit, and I didn't get sucked out on too often. And I think it was during that time I started realizing my mental leaks in my game. Looking at my graph over the past year, I realized that something was desperately off with my mental game for my swings to be that wide. And I think what I identified was that I can play decently well. I can play fundamentally well. And when I do, I win. The problem is once I started winning too much, I started getting winner's tilt. I started thinking, okay, well, I've made this much money, I can start to afford to lose it and play a little splashy. And that's why and then as I started going, inevitably started playing badly and started going back on my downswing, that's when I would start to realize, okay, I need to buck up, I need to, focus, and I would start to claw back up, and I would start winning again because I'd start playing fundamentally well, and I'd start to go up. But then once I go up, the whole cycle repeats. And it was in Manila when something clicked for me, where I started winning, and I looked back at my graph and reflected and identified that a pattern for me was to play bad when I was winning. I refocused, identified what my leak was, and worked past it and worked through it. So even though I was winning Manila, I was like, nope, not gonna keep playing splashy, not gonna play splashy. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. And I felt like I broke through a ceiling. I was winning money, and I was able to keep winning money. So that was pretty great. But once I got back to Vancouver, I think after being up so much money, I reverted back to my old habits and started playing badly again. I'm also aware now of what I do poorly. When I start getting winner's tilt, I start playing too loose and I overbluff. So anyway, I came back to Vancouver and started losing money. I lost a lot of money at my home games. Another leak is when I'm playing 50 cent home games, I tend to be more splashy. It's like, whatever, it doesn't matter. But it does, because our buy-ins are like $200 max and it gets deep. So this past month, December, I've been punting, but 'tis the season of giving. Anyway, that's my graph for the entire year. Okay, let's take a look at locations. So number one, the one I won the most at was at Newport World Resorts in Manila, where I played 48 hours within 14 days. And I was making $154 an hour on average. Next up was Otis's game back in Toronto. Shout out to Otis. Bunch of whales. Hi, Tariq. That's the Maniac Real Estate Agent, if anybody knows the GGAI lore. And then Degens. So Degens is like my home game here with my friends where we play 50 cent games. And from my friends since August, I've made $2,799 over 115 hours, averaging $24 an hour playing 50 cent. So that's pretty fun. Hustlers is up there too, and then there's just a bunch of other ones where I didn't put a lot of volume because those were just kind of like one-off. So you'll see like my trip through America, Columbus, Tunica, Washington, and so on. Okay, now let's go look at what you guys really want to see. Okay, Club GG, I lost the most money. So as I said, Club GG is where I lost the most money. That's where you can catch my Gregory dollars. I attribute my losses mainly to shot taking. I was playing like 5-10 on there like a couple of times. Also because like I'm very distracted when I'm playing Club GG. I'm streaming, I'm doing bits, I'm trying to entertain people. Anyway, that's the best place to catch these Gregory dollars. Link in the description below to learn more about it. If you want to catch some Gregory dollars of your own, play with me on Club GG. Click the link below and download Telegram to learn more about it. And then the next biggest one was Talking Stick. I played for 2 days there and I lost so much money at Talking Stick. I played twice. I played 4 hours there. 4 hours? I played 4 hours and lost $3,000 there. That was where the 9-3 hand happened, where I had 9-8 on the 9-8 on the big blind. Board ran out deuce 9-9-3, and I lost versus 9-3 under the gun open. So that sucked. Looks like I punted at Aria a lot. Only 21 hours though. Not too much volume in any of the losing places, mostly just Club GG where I put in 181 hours, and that's probably the place where I put in the most hours of any game. So yeah, that's an in-depth look into my reports for the year. Let's set some goals for next year. My goal for the new year in 2023 is to make $7,500 playing 2-5. I'm pretty excited to move up stakes. When I'm playing 1-3, I'm pretty comfortable sitting on $1,000 stacks or more. So I think now is the time for me to move up to 2-5, having proved that I can be at least a break-even player at 1-3. And excited to see how 2-5 goes and excited for the new challenge. So given the same model for goal setting the past year, I aim to play about 12 hours a week or 624 hours in the year. 7,500 divided by 624 hours works out to be a little more than $12 an hour or 2.4 big blinds an hour. So not only am I moving up stakes where the game should be tougher, I'm also increasing my goal from 1 big blind an hour to 2.4 big blinds an hour. Anyway, wish me luck on my 2023 goals. I'm sure gonna need it. And again, thank you so much for watching and supporting me and the channel for the last 2 years. Yeah, this channel's been going on for 2 years now. And I will see y'all next year for the 2023 cash game report. Anyway, do me a favor, make the games better for me. Stay loose, play 7 deuce.